Girl, you the best, and she love me when I'm in it, and she never be pretending. Nothing is friend. She gon' tell you what she bought it, cause she know you can't afford it. Know you can get.
Yay! Look at there. No issues today. Everything seems to be working properly. Knocking on all the wood. Because today I am so excited. I have two great guests for you. First, we're going to start off with Byron Brooks, who is a comedian out of the DC, Baltimore, or I guess to call it like the hip kids too, the DMV area. He's going to be on with me in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Oh, it's so good to have you on today.
Thank
How's
you.
everything going? And thank you so much for being my guest today.
It's an honor. I was blown away that you asked me to be on, so thank you very much.
Well, it's my pleasure. Anything for a laugh, because I told you, but I didn't mention it yesterday with Guy because I was kind of scared of his reply. But I had invited several comedians to be this week because I wanted it to be like a theme to have all comedians this week. And it was just you and Guy that said yes. So
we're the most hardworking, flaky people on the planet. Yeah.
Well, I also have to admit, like a lot of these social media pages aren't necessarily ran by the actual talent, or their DMs are full of things. So maybe I was overlooked, but I did direct email some of them. So, but I am so happy to have you. I can't wait to hear how you got your started in comedy. When did the comedy bug or entertainment bug hit you?
Well, it's a long story. I've always been in the arts my entire life. Well, I started out doing taekwondo and martial arts when I was young. I also started playing the piano when I was like 7 or 8 years old. So I've always been in the arts. I got to a point in my life where my focus was music. Didn't pan out the way I wanted it, didn't like the people I was working with. So I went back into martial arts, believe it or not. Actually, am an instructor at a martial arts dojo right now.
Aren't you also like an MMA fighter as well?
Yes, yeah. So I fought MMA, Muay Thai. Yeah, I've been in the cage. I've done all that crazy stuff, but I'm old now.
Hey, I'm not going to age you. There's old people in the rings all the time. Say that again.
I can't do that anymore.
So, I don't know why you ever did in the first place. Just because, I guess, full disclosure, Byron is my cousin. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And so just as a family, just being family, but I mean, it runs in the genes since my mom is your cousin as well. And what does she do? Taekwondo. Well, she didn't do Taekwondo. She did Shotokan competitions first. And then she did Taekwondo in her 40s or whatever. I'm like, girl, slow down. But
so I just got to a point in my life where I was like, I still teach, but I didn't want to compete anymore. I didn't want to get punched in the face. It's harder to wake up in the morning after a competition. I just wasn't getting the joy that I was, when I was younger. So I continued to teach, but I needed something to fill that void. So I've always been a big stand-up comedy fan, always since I was little. I probably shouldn't have been watching some of the things I was watching.
What was your first one? Because I was hiding behind my parents' sofa and had no idea I was watching Eddie Murphy Delirious. That was
exactly Eddie Murphy RoB at a very young age. I grew up on Def Comedy Jam. As I got older, Comic View on BET was probably one of my favorite shows ever. I've always loved it, and with the boom of Netflix, there was so many specials on. And one day I was just watching a special and I said, I can do that. I can do that. I see what it takes. It just takes repetition, just like anything else to get good at.
Right.
So I dove right on in. I started writing material for about 3 months before I actually went to an open mic. And then I went to my first open mic and bombed horribly.
I was going to ask if you remembered what it was like the first time you went on stage. So you bombed the first time. What do you mean bombed? Like, were the jokes just not landing, or was the audience just like, were you being I mean, we're a very smart family. So
let me take a drink before I tell you this one.
Okay, drinking game alert. Drink every time he does. I'm kidding.
There's a place called
Mhm.
the what is it called? The Sidebar. It is a historic open mic comedy space in Baltimore City. It's where all of the Baltimore comics go to work out their stuff. It's
Okay.
kind of like it's kind of like the Comedy Store of Baltimore.
Okay.
I saw this on a thread. I showed up, had my stuff ready, but little did I know is they like to haze people there. So I've always been punctual. Military background. My dad was in the military. I grew up in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. So
Another thing we have in common. Okay.
yeah,
Look, we only met once.
yeah,
So we're learning each other at the same time.
yeah.
And we were
So,
teenagers. So
yeah. So my dad was always, you be punctual, be 15 minutes early is on time. You know what I mean? If you're on
Okay.
time, you're late.
Okay.
So I showed up about 30 minutes early, got my first drink. I was the first person on the list to go up. And I'm sitting there and comics are going up and I'm drinking more and
Now
more
wait, did you
comics are
stack the audience at all? Did you make friends come out to kind of support you?
No,
or
no,
did
no, no. I
Okay.
didn't want anybody to see that
Okay.
madness.
Okay. I was curious. Look, I'm always wondering. Okay.
Yeah. So about 10 comics go by. No, my name doesn't come up, and I'm about 5 beers and 2 shots. So
I feel like that's a lot.
11:30 rolls around. There's literally maybe 6 comics left in the whole place. I'm second to the last person to go up. Of course, I forgot. I've been drinking. It took so long. I forgot everything that I had rehearsed and wanted to say, and it was bad.
Oh
It
no.
stayed with me for a while. Actually, I think it still stays with me to this day.
So do you have like a ritual now before you go on stage to kind of avoid any of those? No.
No,
You're
it
like
was
no
just
5 beers, 2 shots.
no. Yeah, well, yeah, that's definitely one. I limit my drinking before I go on stage.
Okay.
I definitely now am to a point where it was just repetition. First time doing anything, especially in a crowd of people, a crowd of your peers as well. It can be a little rough.
Absolutely.
But just it
Stage
was
fright
just
is real.
yeah, it was just repetition. I didn't go back to that open mic for a while. I found, I
You're like,
found
I'll be
another
back.
open.
And
I
when I'm
found
better.
yeah.
And sober. Just kidding.
I found another open mic called Cut Your Teeth Open Mic. It's at
Okay.
Zissimo's Bar, the Lou Costello Room, which is a comedy club in Baltimore in the Hamden area.
Okay.
A lady by the name of Christy Bellich, who I would consider my comedy mentor now, ran that room. And she was very fair, very kind, very motivational person. Like every time I came off the stage, she had something positive to say to me, or some type of critique, but she didn't put it in a way like you suck. Like that was horrible, Byron. And she really honestly helped me develop my comic style, along with, I would say, Daryl Klein, who puts me on most of my shows, or Daryl Klein DC production shows.
Okay.
Very good friend of mine. He does shows in the Virginia area all the way up to Northern Maryland.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I started.
Now, to contrast your first bomb, when was your first like aha moment, or when everybody seemed to get your jokes, you were really excited when you got off? Has there ever been that moment, or you still feel like everything could always be better?
Oh, everything can always be better.
Right.
But I do have those times where, I get off the stage and I'm glowing for 2 or 3 days. Like I really killed that one.
Yeah.
I can't really remember the first time.
Okay.
I do remember the first time I actually did a show. I didn't do bad, but I didn't have that glowing feeling afterwards. It was probably one of Daryl Klein's shows, probably my 7th or 8th show in, to where I actually got a big audience who was laughing from beginning to end, and I thought I was the greatest thing since sliced bread for like a week.
I can't even imagine, because most of the work I do is pre-recorded, so I don't get that automatic yay or applause or just feeling like, oh yeah, I nailed it. You know, like usually it's like, okay, I only had to do that shoot and it only took like a couple of takes. Like that's kind of the check or applause. So I'm curious how it works for you guys.
Yeah, the automatic feedback is a big help. That's probably one of the reasons I don't do a lot of these Zoom comedy shows and things like that, because I want to hear the audience. I want to hear if I suck, I suck. Tell me I suck. You know what I mean? I don't want to be left, you know, thinking, did they like that? Or did they not like that? What were my strong jokes? What jokes do I need to get rid of? You know, things like that. Every time you step up on stage, it's a class, even if it's, you know, a show and you have everything down tight. When you get off the stage, it's always what hit the best, what didn't hit. You know, should I put this joke before this joke? Should I make my closer my opener? Should I make my opener my closer? So it's always switching. It's never the same. Yeah, never the same.
No, I was curious. So at a previous station I worked at, we had a connection with Improv Comedy Club here in Raleigh and Good Nights Comedy Club as well. So I would get free tickets every once in a while, or I would win them. More likely I won them, but every once in a while I would be like, hey, by the way, can I get some tickets? And I don't have to jump through hoops to get them, but every once in a while I got them. Wow. Well, and just seeing them on a regular basis, just being able to watch comedians on stage as opposed to just on TV. You see so much effort is put into it. Just, I mean, you can tell they're sweating, they're working the stage. I mean, it's very active. And I was always like, I could be a sit-down comedian, but the standing out, like walking and talking and making jokes at the same time.
Ali Sadiq makes his living doing that. He puts it. You know who Ali Sadiq is?
No.
Okay, he's a comedian. He's a very good
98% of the time, I'm like, yeah.
But he puts a chair out on stage and he sits and he talks and he does not get up from that chair. He's one of the only people I think right now who does that. And he's very good, you know, so.
Well, see, the thing is for women, they have to do it normally in heels too. So it's like, I'm not doing that.
Well, no. It depends on who you are. I've seen people get up there in jeans and sneakers, you know what I mean?
Women?
Yeah, women.
Women. Okay.
Yeah, jeans and Jordans. You know what I mean?
Good for them. I love that. I like when people can come as they are to work.
I think with comedy, the more yourself you are, the more it shows to the audience. Okay. So I'm not a big fan of, you know, if I ever have a special or anything like that, you're not going to see me in a suit. You know, I'm not gonna put
like. I mean, I love that Dave Chappelle, even though I don't smoke anymore, and that's probably a reason why I'll never go to one of his shows. Just watching him chain smoke, like he's like, I'm not stopping in this non-smoking place. What are you talking about? You're gonna pay to see me. You're also gonna get lung cancer. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
If he gets sued, it's not my fault.
Hey, when he's one of the goats, he can do that. Though.
Absolutely, but that's the thing. Like I'm like. I love watching his shows, but in person, because I used to smoke, it gives me such bad headaches now.
Yeah.
Needless to say, don't smoke, kids.
Don't smoke.
Yeah. So for comedians that are just getting started, what would be some of your advice? I know you said repetition is key, but you were talking about your openers to your closers and writing out material. Like, is there a process that you use that you could suggest to newbies?
First and foremost, get in front of a mic as much as you can. The 1 day a week stuff doesn't cut it. You need to be, it doesn't have to be a show, but you need to be on the mic at least 3 days a week in front of somebody.
Okay.
Also, big one that they told me when I started, when you walk up to the mic, take the mic off of the stand, take the mic stand and put it behind you. Do not use it as your little comedy fidget spinner. Do not hide behind your microphone. They're there to see you. And they're there to hear your jokes.
That's really great advice.
Yes. I don't think it's said enough.
No.
I really don't.
That's now reflecting back, I remember a lot of people moving the mic out of the way. I'm like, why did they even bring it? I'm like, oh, they got to have it up to hand to the next person, or in case there's not somebody there to hand it to the next person. But so many times they don't use it, or they'll just use it as a prop.
Yeah, they'll use it as a prop, which is fine if it's part of your joke. Yeah, absolutely. Like I have I have a joke about being in magic clubs, doing comedy in magic clubs, and I actually need a chair or a stool to do the joke for it to come off correctly. So when that part of the joke comes up, I move the stool to in front of me, or I sit on the stool. But once I'm done, I take that and I push it back to the back. Get it out of the seat.
Now, do you think, for me saying, even now thinking about it, with sitting down as opposed to standing up, do you think that adds to the act as well? Because you have some of that extra nervous energy, and if you're sitting down, maybe it wouldn't be as quick-witted, maybe with it.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what comics say a lot about this finding yourself. I don't quite know what it means, but I think it's just being yourself and being as relaxed as possible on stage. Believe it or not, I sit down a lot. I think it adds to my comedy because my comedy style is very laid back, self-deprecating. So me just sitting lazily hunched over in a chair goes with my act.
Oh, okay.
I don't suggest that for everyone. Yeah. If you are a high energy act, you don't want to be sitting down. You want to be pacing that stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think of Eddie Murphy pacing the stage from Delirious, actually.
Exactly, or Chris Rock. Chris Rock is,
there is a reason they're skinny.
Another thing that I could say, I learned this from listening to Ralphie May. Say your setup to the left or to the right, say your punchline to the middle.
Oh.
That way the audience knows what your punchline is and they think that you're talking directly to them. Because sometimes your smart comics will throw in punchlines where you kind of have to think about them. And some people, it'll just, especially if they've been drinking, that punchline will go right over their head. So if you give them a warning that the punchline is coming, I'm doing my setup over here, boom, here's the punchline. They know, oh, that's the funny part. That's where I'm supposed to laugh. Chris Rock does it a lot. Chris Rock does it. He also repeats himself before the punchline. So he'll say,
"You've really been doing your research. I love
I'm a student of the game." He'll do things like, so you know why the chicken crossed the road? Do you know why the chicken crossed the road? Do you know why the chicken crossed the road? To get to the other side. So he's letting you know the punchline is coming up.
Okay.
So that's just some advice I could give new comedians.
Now, you also do a podcast as well. Is the podcast a comedy podcast or?
Oh, I have not started the podcast yet.
Oh, okay.
It will be a comedy podcast. I'll have mostly comedians on. I've been on several podcasts. If you want to look me up, guys, the Confessional podcast run by a fellow comedian of mine, Mike Moran. I'm on his podcast a lot. Good times, good topics. Check him out.
Okay, Confessional podcast.
Confessional podcast.
Oh, can't forget the article. The Confessional podcast and who's it with again?
Mike Moran. And it's on all medium. It's on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all of it.
Okay. Great. I was going to ask, where can we see your act, if anywhere right now? Because so many people they need the laugh. I think we're all enjoying having access now to people within our own homes.
Well, if you add me, Byron Brooks Comedy on Instagram, a lot of my jokes, a lot of my stuff is actually on my Instagram page. I've been lazy since the whole pandemic, so there will be more jokes coming.
Yeah,
I have lots of video. I just haven't had the time to sit down and chop it all up.
Okay.
But and I can be offensive, so not for the faint of heart.
Now, since we're Facebook friends, I did get to see today that you were itching for a fight, or go out looking for it. So. I know they have trolls out there that are causing trouble on top of it, but who is the people that you're going to attack and have fun with? Is this some way for you to try out stuff for material now that you?
It is.
Okay.
It totally is. It's probably the reason I do it, but I'm not a bully. I'm not there just attacking people. But if you say something racist or just plain old ignorant, I'm gonna have fun with you.
Yeah,
You know,
kind of earned it. Yeah.
I'm totally a troll. So if you're going to say something stupid on the internet, make sure I don't see it.
Look, make sure it's not. Look, I'm the kind of person. I love the idea of getting roasted. I don't know. I mean, like from a professional, not from
Yeah,
some
yeah.
random person who just wants to tell me how to dress. Like, you're not the one. But comedians, because it's gonna be funny. Like it's all in good fun. It's not like they're purposely trying to hurt your feelings or bring you down. But I just remember from watching comedy shows as a kid, whenever they would pick out someone because of their outfits, like looking like I remember one, she like looked like a bird, or maybe it was in a movie actually, where they were making fun of her outfit. So like Big Bird and different. I enjoy that. Like I'm almost like sad when they don't do that as much anymore because I think all the politically correctness of everything that
That
I don't
might
get
be
it.
it. That's a good observation. I don't see that much anymore.
Yeah.
I think some of the audience actually appreciates that. But yeah, it's an art form. I used to like the comedians just picking out people in the audience and going in on them. I mean, like I said, DL Hughley was probably one of the best at doing that. Yeah, you don't see
I haven't
that much
gone to this
anymore.
show yet, but
Now,
that's on my list.
granted, we do have a lot of still have a lot of roast comedians. They just don't. I don't see it gearing it toward the audience anymore. Generally, it's toward another comedian. So a good roast comedian might get up on stage and then roast the comedian that came on before him, or roast the comedians that's going to come on after him, and it's all in good fun because you know we're friends, but we don't really attack the audience anymore.
You guys have a conversation beforehand, like,
Yeah.
hey, by the way.
Well,
Okay.
some people you just know,
Okay.
like King Tink here in Baltimore.
Okay.
You love the dude, and you know you're gonna at some point you're gonna get it. He isn't gonna warn you when it's coming.
I mean, I would assume that's part of the fun,
Yeah.
catching the person off guard, but
always afterwards he'll come up, give you a hug. So like, yeah, I love
Okay.
you, man. You know, it's just joking around. You know. So
oh, that's nice.
yeah, but
Okay.
he's ruthless.
Now I feel like I need to find him. I don't know. I like that kind of sense. I don't know if it's because I started with Eddie Murphy, and then I remember my parents had some albums. I can't think of his name. Red Fox
is great.
And so everyone, or not, and Richard Pryor. Like I would hear some things, but he also had like kind of kid-friendly movies. So it was just like I would make that excuse, like, oh, I thought this was for kids.
Yeah.
And then one time, I was going through my parents' DVD collection, and my cousins were over. You're lucky you weren't one of them. And I was like, oh, my parents have, or maybe you wouldn't have been. You might have been lying about it, because I was like, oh, my parents have this really bad horror movie that they told me I could never ever watch because it would give me nightmares for life. We should watch it. And it was a comedy show instead. It was a comedy show instead. And I was like, I guess they don't want me to see this. More reason to watch.
Exactly.
So I want to make sure that we definitely tell everyone where they can keep up with you and how they can find you. So you mentioned Byron Brooks. Sorry. Byron Brooks. Oh, what a tongue twister. Byron Brooks Comedy on Instagram. They can find you.
Just look up Byron Brooks on Facebook.
Okay.
And that's about it. I'll have probably some type of podcast soon. I haven't figured out the name for it, but it's coming. I did have a comedy show, Why Not Laugh? But as soon as this pandemic and is over and we can get people back in a closed area, that will be back on. That happens every fourth Friday of the month. All comics are welcome. Other than that, that's just look out for me. Type in my name on YouTube. You might be surprised what comes up.
Oh.
It might be comedy. It might be fighting. Hey, you never know.
Oh, that's right. With all the competitions. Now, unlike a lot of comedians, they can't really back up what they're saying. So you can actually get your mouth into something your butt can handle. You know that saying? Oh, wait, I can cuss. Your ass can handle. I'm like, my kid's not around. Oh, I forget.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, that is in the back of my mind all the time. But like I said, I'm not somebody who would like. I'm a self-deprecating comic. I spend a lot of time making fun of myself or making fun of my family. So I don't really get attacked by the audience too much
Okay.
or have to put somebody in their place because they're heckling me or anything like that.
Okay.
So it's never really had to come up. But in the back of my mind, it's definitely, hey, someone gets out of hand. I can go on a full roast and they're not really going to be able to do much to me.
I've seen your videos when you were fighting
Yeah.
your MMA. So, and it's funny, so one of my other cousins, he did MMA as well and kickboxing. So
Yeah.
there must be something in the family that just
It's gotta
really
be.
is
I
drawn
think I know who you're talking
to
about
arts.
too.
Larry, yeah.
Larry. Yeah, I know Larry.
Yeah. So like I did Taekwondo competitions. He did kickboxing. My mom did Shotokan and Taekwondo. So there's something in our genes that we
My
are
dad was
drawn
in
to fighting.
My dad was in special forces, and I don't know.
Oh, what was that like?
Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast by itself.
Okay, we'll have to do that. We'll share horror stories because
Yeah.
I didn't find out till recently. I won't talk about it now. I see her on air. But yeah, she's like, tell us about your martial arts skills. He already told us. He was MMA and Taekwondo. But you can tell us some more. I mean, if you want. That's another show.
That's another show.
He's like, I've retired.
That's a total another show. Well, also if anybody in the Maryland area, we're under quarantine right now, but our gym is still functional. We will be opening back up. It's called Ground Control Owings Mills. It's located in Owings.
Wait. I can't type that fast. Ground what?
Ground Control.
Oh, okay.
Owings Mills. And it's locate Owings, OWINGS.
Okay.
Owings Mills, Maryland.
Oh, I thought you said
Mills. Oh yeah, Ground Control Owings Mills is located in Owings Mills, Maryland.
I'll Google and find the actual website and put it in there. But at least I won't forget what it's about.
Any self-defense needs. If you're just looking to lose weight, if you're looking to become a
quarantine fighter. 19.
Yeah, if you're that quarantine 19.
Oh wait, let me.
And shout out to all the guys out there hollering at girls with face masks on, not knowing if they have bad teeth or a mustache. It's rough out there for my boys.
I mean, we can't get to the waxers, so like the mask is my friend when I'm out in public. I'm like, you can't tell that I'm going through menopause. No, I'm kidding. Needless to say, I'm an esthetician, so I can take care of myself. But I wanted to be part of the joke,
Nice, I like it.
We'll have to hang out more. It was so much fun talking with you, and I look forward to seeing more that you're gonna do in the future.
Thank
and
you
I'm
so
much. Proud of you because
I'm proud of you.
I love all my family members that are entertainment. That I'm just because it's such a scary thing to put yourself out there. And so just to have more family members that are in entertainment, it just warms my heart.
We should do an arts podcast, get Kari on here.
I would love it. Do you know how many times I've asked him to be on my show?
I'll talk to him.
Please put in a good word. I'm not mean and I don't bite. Just kidding. All right. Well, thanks again for being part of the E-Spot. I look forward to having you back.
All right. Thank you very much. I look forward to coming back.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Peace, people.
Bye. So cool. All right. So my next guest is the one, the only RoB J. I won't sing, but I'll show you a little bit of his song. Let's see if I can get it to work. Maybe not. Oh, that's what I get for trying to be cool. Hi, RoB J. How are you? Oops, I have you on mute. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. I was trying to get this to play, but it's not.
Hold on.
Okay. Uh-oh. Here we go again. All right, let me see if I can get this to work. Oh, great. Okay.
I was having some small difficulties. How you doing?
I was like, this Be Live will not let me be great every time. Every other time, it's like it wants to work. It doesn't want to work, but
it's something. Yeah, I'm good. I can hear everything.
Yay! Yes, so how's everything going for you up in Virginia?
Everything is good. Just trying to stay healthy, stay out the way, take care of ourselves, take care of myself, my family. We just recently had a newborn. My brother had a baby, so we have a little.
Oh, you're an
Yeah,
uncle. Is this your first
yeah, this is my first official.
nephew?
Yeah, niece.
Niece.
Yeah, so this is my first official niece. I have some friends who have children, and they're like my little god nieces, god nephews. But this one is blood. So
Oh,
it's
that's
just been
exciting.
great because we had a lot of time to spend family time together when
Yeah.
everybody's usually on the go. Got
Mhm.
time to really be a family and catch up. So it's been bittersweet. The lockdown has been bittersweet. So
I mean, because you stay touring.
yeah, like
You're
all
always.
over, and just keep up with everything that's going on. Because in Virginia is popping, but it's not like living in Atlanta or LA, New
Mhm.
York, where it's a demand for the entertainment.
Right.
So you got to stay traveling to keep up with what's going on, or else it's just like you get overlooked a lot of
Mhm.
times. There's a lot of times people are
I'm
like,
in
yeah, but
North Carolina. I feel your pain.
but you guys gonna come up now. Y'all getting the wave. I mean, you've
Hey,
been
what?
had it, but
I mean, me personally, I stay in. Let me stop. What?
yeah,
I
no,
was a
no, no, no,
stay-at-home
no,
mom. Yeah.
definitely. So, just trying to keep up with everything and positive and networking and
Yeah.
meeting people and all that. Got to network.
It's a great time to network too, because everybody's
Definitely.
home,
Right.
or for the
Exactly.
most part,
For
right?
the most part, yeah. Besides your people that want to go out to the beaches and want to be want to be cool. I just like but
Really? Yeah.
yeah, to each his own, So but I'm
Mm.
I'm I'm trying to be safe out here and take care of everything. So
No, I get that. Now, how did you get started in music? You have a very interesting background. Let's not even go
hmm
before music, because you did all this great stuff in the community. Even before then, I was seeing you
right,
posted like last week all these throwback Thursdays where you were
yeah,
meeting all these politicians, and
right.
that's part of my own. I'm really involved in I'm trying to hurry up to make it to the 7 o'clock Western Wakes Democrats meeting.
Okay. Got you. So
Which
you
is
on
fine.
this
I don't have to be first because they always running kind of late. But needless to
right.
say, I always try to stay involved in my community. So I
hmm
love when young people are also doing the same, because
Appreciate that.
it's impressive.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, definitely.
Don't call me ma'am
Oh,
yet.
no. I didn't mean to say ma'am like that. I mean like how
Okay.
you say like yes sir,
Oh,
yes
like amen.
like that. Yeah,
Got it.
no.
Okay.
You got it.
Whew. I was like,
But
just because I called you young doesn't mean you can
yeah.
call me ma'am.
No. You good. You
No,
good. You
you're
good.
fine.
But yeah, I started off in high school with a teen organization called Teens with a Purpose.
Okay.
So it started off initially with me just looking for like a community service activity to, pass and graduate. But I ended up falling in love with the organization had going on and what they were doing. Teaching kids to be individuals. They also had a music department where the kids were recording and writing, and that's my lane area right there. So it just ended up allowing me to really, dive into it, and that mission became mine. So a part of me is, dedicated to activism. That's why I try to do little stuff here and there to show that, artists are doing more than just rapping and singing or, flashing money, but taking, what you have and that influence into putting it something positive. So that's something that I want, people to know about me as well. And a lot of people, some people actually knew me for that, like outside of music. Like, yeah, I remember you was at the Teams of the Purse event. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it all ties in good, and I just want to, keep everything associated with my name positive, or something that's highly, and not like, oh yeah, I seen him doing this, or yeah, my boyfriend is doing, or my girlfriend used to have. I want to keep my name clean. So I take the extra time to keep all of that together. But yeah, I love missions,
I love
all about
that.
that stuff. Definitely.
I love that, because that's one thing I was saying towards the beginning of quarantine is
hmm
that I realized there's a lot of music I couldn't listen to anymore because now I
hmm
had full-time ears around. And like my
Yeah. So
hype
it's like,
music and my workout music is all like hip hop, but
uh huh.
Spotify doesn't really offer the edited version
Right.
or
Yeah.
the
Right.
radio
Rap
version.
caviar is just how it is.
I'm like,
Right.
whoa, can't really listen to this around my kids. So I appreciate
Yeah.
people wanting to be, and especially with your music, I feel like
Mm.
you do like you still are, you're still a hip hop artist. I'm not
Yeah.
taking that away from you, but it's still like it's safe. I can play it around here because you're not being
Right.
so vivid that there's no
Yeah.
way. Like when I was growing up, I remember my parents were listening to like I can't think of his name right now, but gosh, I can just say this song, Brick House. I'm a brick
Yeah.
house, different things like that, and you just didn't. Oh, did you lose me?
Hold on, I'm gonna try real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me take this off.
Yeah, I can hear you fine without it. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me now?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Oh man, hold on.
Uh-oh. He'll be back. Well, let me see if I can get the video to play now. Oh, he's back already. All right.
The earphones all together.
Okay.
All right, cool. We good.
See, AirPods, we trying to, at least it was the AirPods. That's the easy, quick fix.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, what in the world? Like,
Maybe the battery's dying or something. I don't know.
something crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah, just
But I remember I could listen to Brick House and have no clue what they were talking about, or a lot of different songs that may or may not have gotten me in trouble because I performed them at talent shows.
oh.
But needless to say, I was innocent, but the adults knew what I was saying.
Mhm.
So how about for you? Like, what inspired you to get into singing?
Yeah, well, growing up, my mom just realized I had a talent for it, and I was a part of plays. You know, I sung in the choir just by default. But I remember we had a Martin Luther King program at my school. I believe I was in like the third or fourth grade, and we did lift every voice and sing. And so I was home practicing. And she's like, you know what, we got a nice sound. Like, let's see what we can do with this. And everybody
Yeah.
else in my family, like, they're musically talented. My mom, she sings a little bit, but she loves dance. Family play the instruments, all of that good stuff.
Okay.
So she was like, let's see what we can do with this. And we just started training and getting everything together, and then it's been on ever since.
Now, when you first started, did you have an idea of what kind of music you wanted to do, or? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry,
Like,
I'm
say
sorry.
tell them you're on the E spot and they have
Yes,
to
I'm
wait.
saying,
No, I'm
bro.
kidding.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Everybody, it's real life. It's fine. It happens. But it just distracts me from my questions sometimes.
I can't hear
What? You can't hear me again?
Say the volume went out again.
Oh, no. I don't know what's going on. I have mine as high as possible. Still can't hear me?
We'll try again.
Yay! I knew he'd be back fast, so. It's so weird. Are you on an iPhone or
Yeah,
Android?
I
Okay.
have my iPhone on, and I don't know.
No, I just want, because every time. Okay, because every time I ask Be Live what's going on, yeah, they always ask what kind of device. Let's see. They will be getting another letter from me today about why can't your app work properly. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Hopefully it works this time, yes.
Okay, we'll just be very fast.
Cool.
No, I'm kidding. Now, when you first started in the music industry, did you already have like kind of an idea of what kind of music you wanted to do? Because you do a lot of ballads, but you also, like, your song with DaBaby is not really a ballad.
Yeah,
it's more of a dance song.
Right. Yeah. So I actually didn't. Prior beforehand, I just knew a lot of gospel songs, and a lot of kind of like classic, like I say, like Disney Channel songs and stuff like that. So I didn't really even know like my lane or how I wanted to do anything, And so I just took one summer out to really just sit down and just mess around with my sound. I did a song one year for my senior project, and it had a lot of R&B influences, a part of it. So I was like, maybe this could be something I could do. So I sat down, took the time, wrote a love song out, about a girl that I had liked, and I was like, you know what, I need some practice on writing anyway. I might as well go ahead and try to put my feelings down the right way.
Okay, Taylor Swift.
Minus the guitar,
Yeah, well, yeah.
We sat down and did that, and I just gradually recorded and just found my lane in R&B, and also the artists I listen to inspire me too, like the older artists, Boyz II Men, Jagged Edge, Case, all those guys are like my core. Like, okay, this is how a good love song is supposed to feel, And then more
Yeah.
modernly, you know, for the style and guys doing like Usher, Chris Brown, Neil, all of those guys, you know, inspiring right now. So just listen to them and how they put their feelings in things, and you know,
Mhm.
the emotion that they communicated kind of helped me find my sound and to you know, where I fit in and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know if you've been listening to any of the
Oh
DJs on
no,
the weekends. Ah,
that's the sound.
not again.
Oh, what's going on?
I don't either. All right. He'll be back. See? Just like that. Magic.
They
I
didn't
don't
like this
know.
one.
Like, they gave me a refund yesterday because it was so bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. It went
I have
again.
nothing.
Yeah.
Already? Let's see. Any sec.
I just keep hitting the little returning and just coming back on, and then the sound works. But I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault at all.
Yeah.
Honestly, the app has been acting really crazy lately, so I don't know what's going on.
Mm.
But so you were saying like the different artists that inspire you and so
yeah.
on. And I love that because I was asking you if you watched any of the DJs or any of the versus things.
Yeah.
Is there any singer that you would like to see go against each other, or anyone you would want to
Well,
go with?
we just recently had a discussion with Usher and Chris Brown.
Okay.
So, you know, those two are my favorites. I got
Yeah.
to see Neo, and I forget who he went against. I think he went against no, not Neo.
I don't remember
Excuse me. It
either.
was who was somebody? It was an R&B battle. I can't remember right off, but that
Okay.
one was nice to see. Anything pertaining to R&B, I love it. But I want to definitely see Usher and Chris go at it. I think they would do
Oh,
well.
yeah. I wonder if they'll dance any while they're doing it too.
Records, and then the slow ballad records and the pop records. So I would love to see them go toe to toe, especially because those are two people that, you know, I look up to. So I would love to see that.
I saw it today. I don't know how accurate it is because it doesn't even seem to make sense to me. I don't know. I'll hear your version too. But I just saw that Busta and Snoop Dogg are going to go against each other.
Yeah, they're going to go against theirs too.
Yeah.
So,
okay, you saw it too.
Yeah, me personally, I would say that Snoop Dogg would have it. Me personally.
Yeah.
But but
I just think they're so different.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think of I mean, of course the East Coast West Coast thing, but even still, like with Busta, he's just a fast rapper, he's more dance, he's more, you know, and like Snoop Dogg can go both ways in that sense where he's more slow and telling a story, but
I don't even think their fans would be similar. I think the only thing is that they like rap. A majority of the common people who have it is like, okay, the artists are similar. So it's like, cool, you know, like the Teddy Riley, Babyface. That was the biggest one that they had so far.
I would have loved better if Busta was with Eminem,
exactly,
or somebody on that same.
Right, they respect that, you know. So just have rappers up there. You're gonna have a lot of biased people. You're not really gonna see.
Yeah, or even DMX. Him with DMX.
Yeah.
That maybe
he's probably somewhere doing a Bible study with somebody.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't remember. Like, I was like, I don't know what his status is currently, so maybe I shouldn't say that name. Maybe they tried, but even like Fredro Starr, I don't know. Just they kind of sound more similar, but it'll be interesting because I'm West Coast till I die. But at the same time, I really love Busta Rhymes, so that's kind of like tearing on both sides. Like, I don't know who to root for, but I love that some of the singers that you said that you enjoy, because a lot of times with those songs, it made you want to fall in love or really appreciate your woman and the relationship status. And I think that's something like just in general, everyone coming out of coronavirus will be way more appreciative. Have you been working on a lot of new music since you've been home?
Yeah, work on a lot of music every day. Actually, have an album that's on the way. We were supposed to actually shoot the video with DaBaby before the whole virus happened, but we had to postpone that and, you know, just make sure everything was fine and safe. And, you know, he got a million things going on. So we were trying to be like
a clothing line of, he's good.
Like, I'm like,
he's all over the place.
About Jay in Virginia, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, when does he sleep?
Right, exactly. So
I guess that makes him like a baby.
Right.
Because they never sleep.
They always,
it's a lie.
Working and all the time. So, but definitely working on the album. I actually might put out 2 projects before the end of the year is over, just to kind of catch up, you know, on the last release, because I'm a part of yes. I'm with independent label right now, so I have one more project with them, and then I'll be able to put out a project as well. So I got the songs ready. I'm just waiting on the okay for me to be able to, you know what I'm saying, legally do things the right way. Then after
All
that, I'm
right.
just gonna go ahead because I work every day. I have mad stuff and people like, yo, when's the next time? When's the next music? What's the next music? I'm thankful everybody go back and listen to like my album and then they listen to the song and they streaming that. So that's a blessing, you know, versus people just be like, I'm tired of them. So that helps out a lot. I'm
Right.
tired of it when it's so new. But that helps
No.
out a lot. But I'm definitely working on and having a whole nother album done, putting out another single. Should definitely be soon within the next month. And
Oh, great.
yeah, definitely just gonna keep just going up and just, you know, have fun with it.
Any plans to collaborate on your upcoming album, or any collaborations you already did that you can share with us?
Yeah, I'm actually working on something with I don't know if you've seen a picture on my Instagram with Whitney Rain. She was
Okay.
yeah. So we're trying to get our stuff together. We had a little session and we shot some ideas together when we were down in Atlanta. So hopefully, you know, we could get something like that going off. It's another gentleman too by the name of Chris Landry. He's a rapper as well. We're trying to get him on some things. There's a whole lot is up in the air.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
trying to see how we're gonna get it done. But we definitely have some people want to call in some favors for and see if we could try to, you know, get to the people and, you know,
Oh, that's great.
get some more content coming. Just keep the bar coming, and I want to like challenge myself every time to step my game up, and just friendly competition to just keep everything
Yeah.
high. You know, so that's what I've been working on and just getting everything I did together. I want to put out a lot of visuals. I got a lot of songs I want to put visuals to, so it's a whole lot. I'm just going, keep standing on myself and just making sure it just get done, that get done, that get done, so I can just keep everybody happy and just keep building.
All right. Now, I have to ask this because I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah.
How did the collaboration with you and DaBaby go around? It's a long day. Yesterday with all the mistakes, I'm still tired.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I didn't stay up some days. I'm like, what day is it? Like Tuesday. But pretty much my manager pulled some strings.
Okay.
I actually was not even a big DaBaby fan when they had first brought up the idea of me working with him. And he was like, "Bro, you listen to DaBaby?" I'm like, I never really heard none of this stuff. He's like, check them out. If you like them, then we'll see what we can do. So I listened to the song.
Yeah.
He had a couple songs that was popping, Walking Texas Ranger and 21. And so I was like, you know what, bro? I like your stuff. He's like, cool. So he went on Instagram, found his manager's information, and you know what I'm saying, went and hit him up, chopped it up, and then I had a performance out in Charlotte. It was like an open mic. I can't remember the club, but some of his people were actually there. So we was able to get that personal connection outside with the email, and they was able to talk. He was like, well, this is what we got going on. This is before everything just like, boom. This was literally a month before Suge started popping, and everything just skyrocketed for him. But he was still popping,
Oh, wait. That wasn't during CIAA, was it?
Oh, I can't. Hold on, I'm trying.
That you meant? Oh, no. Just when it gets good. Because I was supposed to interview RoB during CIAA. So I was curious if that's when it all happened.
Okay. I can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
What were you saying?
Now, was that during CIAA? Because I remember you were down here for CIAA. Was that when you guys met, or?
No. That was
before then.
This was maybe like a couple months prior to that. So CIAA, we were down there. I had a performance like outside of that.
Oops.
We didn't get a chance to. Okay, there we go. All right.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to change your name because every time you go in and out, it shows your full military or government name. So I was trying to type it, and by accident, I hid you instead of. Yeah, it was my fault, not you that time.
Look, we trying to get through this together.
Yeah.
But so from that going on, he was just like, if you send you the track over, if you like we hear, we can work something out, and then cut out an agreement. Sent the track over. Look, I spent the next day. I'm like, look, we got to get this track in. My friend produced the track. We was like, you know what? We got to make it happen. We stayed up all night, sent it in, recorded it, sent it to him to reference. So he got the track. He liked it. Put his verse down, had it back to us within 2 days.
Wow.
So, I went out to
the music business is fast. Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, wow. I was like, thank you, God. Threw it one of them prayers. So we went out that Friday, just me and my friends. Then manager called me. He was like, "Bro, check your email." He sent the verse. So I'm like, "What?" So then, mind you, the music is loud in the club right now. I'm like, "What?" I run outside the club, take my phone, check my email, listen to it. I'm just like, like let's go.
Yeah.
And so the
Yeah.
whole thing was just dope, and it was just an unbelievable feeling. I was mad thankful, to even have that, and it's artists in the industry that want to feature with him that don't even have that, So that's something I always, even now, even the song's been out for a couple months now, still appreciative, and it's like inspiring to myself. It's like, dang, like this is really real, and I really have a shot at doing this.
Yeah.
So it was just humbling, and then having it up there and seeing the people respond to it, make videos, and just have some radio play, and we're still in the process of trying to really get it pushed. Like I said, the virus kind of put a hold on some things,
Right.
but we're going to, when the album drops, and we're able to put out another single and then push the album, we're going to open those resources back up and do like a re-push and relaunch, and really try to get it, where we want to, and we know it can be. But yeah, that whole feeling was just like surreal. Everybody was just like, "Bro, what?" Of course, you have your doubters. You're like, "No, man, it's not." It's not really him. Or they try to say, "Oh, man, you went and found the verse off YouTube and did this and did that." But
wow, the haters they're always the worst. Uh-oh. I'll tell you, the haters, you can't listen to them because they're the ones that are just jealous that you're doing what they can't. Man.
Okay, I know.
Okay. It's not you. Look, it's the app, so don't even worry about it. But
Okay.
I was just saying, I was like, see, the haters will, if you listen to them, they can really get in your head. So I'm glad you're sharing that with us, because they're exhausting.
They'll get in there, and it's people who always find something wrong with everything. And even with this, I just learned to not really pay attention to what people say, and also have thick skin. And so now it's to the point where people tell me this, I already expect that somebody's gonna have something negative to say. Not saying I'm a negative person, but just so I can go ahead and just get out the way. And that's another thing I learned too. Like, everybody's not gonna like my stuff, but I also appreciate that, because everybody's entitled to their opinion. A lot of times artists are like, "Yeah, you don't like my stuff, man. Like, forget you," and all. It's like, no. I'm like, dang, I gotta be that extreme. Like, you, no pun intended, but you like what you like. It's like,
I mean, that just means you're making room for the people who do like it, who will give you feedback that you actually need, as opposed to people who don't really like it. Then you don't really need to hear anything they have to say about it.
Right, exactly, too. So, I respect all the opinions alike, but I've been blessed to have a lot of great feedback, and support has been crazy. And
that's great.
like I said, I wish the virus wouldn't have happened like this, and doing everything, but everything happens for a reason.
Right.
And so, I'm glad.
And it looks like you're maximizing your opportunity of being home too. Like, you're making your music, you're going to be hitting the road running, because they say, like, once things really open up and things are kind of back to normal, I guess, when there was the vaccine or whenever, like things are 100% back, they're going to, I mean, the floodgates are going to be open, because everybody's going to have seen everything or heard everything and going to be desperate for new stuff.
Right, new material. So, like I said, alongside of that, I just been trying to stay positive with everything. People like you and Sydney and Amy, just because
they were so cute.
They are
I adore them.
Help keep what I got going on positive and going too. So it is always something going on. So I definitely appreciate that, and it's just been little small stuff you can do to show people that you're still working, even though you physically can't go anywhere or do shows. You still can put the work in, and make people, even if they might not like my music, they support my grind, and they respect what I'm doing and what I stand for. And that's the most important thing. So.
Now, is there anyone that you would like to collaborate in the future, or work with, or go on tour with?
Definitely. Number one on my list right now is Chris Brown. That's I want to get in and work with him. While he's still, doing this thing. It's because he's been in the game so long. There's no telling, any day he could be like, I'm just going to retire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a family.
Exactly.
Take a break for a little bit.
Right. So I want to definitely get something in with him. I like Big Sean. I definitely want to try to do something dope with him. I'm trying to see who else. It's so many people. Girl wise, I love all the girl artists out right now.
Okay.
Their vibes are crazy. From Summer Walker, Seven Streeter, who else? SZA, all the girls. Her.
Oh, you even
Any
went a little
chance,
old
any chance I
school.
can
Yeah.
exactly. Any chance I can get a chance to do anything with them, I'm on it. But male wise, definitely Chris Brown. Definitely want to get something in with him, and everybody else I'm pretty much open towards working with. But that's the number one guy that I want to get something with. Like,
Now, is there anything else you
that's
want to
my
do? Oh, yeah, sorry. Is there anything else in it that you want to do as well as far as entertainment? Because a lot of times with singers, they also end up doing movies or
yeah.
other things.
Well,
Are there other things you're interested in?
I definitely want to get into like maybe a couple of years into the industry, like an independent management kind of like company thing, where it's not necessarily like signed to a label, but we kind of like connect different artists with the right people. Especially being from here, we haven't really had a figure that's actually done that. Everywhere else you could be everybody's somebody, but you can just be like a entry level, and work hard, you end up in the studio with Gucci Man or somebody in Atlanta
Right.
because they believe in connections like that, or anywhere else, and
Right.
don't really have that. So that's
Oh, that's sad. Because I think of like Missy Elliott and Pharrell being the
yeah.
Virginia thing, but that
They,
was a long time ago.
they
They're
look,
probably
especially because of the caliber artists they are. Like we have some heavy
right.
hitters. They really can put a lot of people on, and that's something that's kind of frustrating from being out here because it's like, yo, they know the towns out here. They shout the people out from the area. They do this, but it's like you're not really helping them, And nobody said you got to sign them. Nobody said you got to give them $100 million. Nobody said you got to do this and third, but put them in position to win. Like
Right.
if you know that this person has this talent, why not put them in a booth with I just ran a blank, but
Or even
like,
an introduction,
make that connection, and it's
Yeah.
not really like that out here. So that's what kind of inspired the idea from that, even from me kind of having the little contacts that I have and just
Yeah.
some of my friends that I told that, I'm saying, they're now cool with you because of, myself, or,
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful thing. So I definitely want to do something with that. I'd love to make a cameo on a TV show, what I'm saying, do a little quick something,
Yeah.
a little voiceover, if somebody want to throw me some modeling, want to wear a shirt or something,
Oh, wait, I love your shirt. It's the Goonies.
Thank you. Yeah, the Goonies.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that shirt. I love that movie. I refuse to let my daughter watch it because after I watched it with my cousins, we decided to go on an adventure and we got lost in the woods for 4 hours.
See,
Police had to come get us.
I'm a borderline scaredy cat, so like cabins and all that stuff. We go there. Yep, I'm sitting right here. I'm with the lights on.
It was my uncle's backyard. But he had just moved there and it was like deep in the country. And I had just moved from Europe. So I didn't know anything about America, and geography is completely different because I lived on the west coast of Europe and we were now on the east coast. So like I remembered stuff from the brownies barely. So I was able to get us out to the clearing, but 4 hours. Had to get in a cop car. That's the only time I've been in a cop car was when they picked us up on the side of the street and drove us back home.
He was like, yep, I'm not doing that again.
Ever. Ever. I don't like camping. I don't know.
Yeah, let's say that was a one shot thing for me. The most I do is I'll go on the reserve. We stay in an RV. We know what's around. But yeah, I'm not big on the whole animals or outdoors things. Or that's not really me. I love being about, but I just need to know what I'm around. I need to be in a closed campsite.
Yeah. So I did a photo shoot for Cabela's actually, and I thought it was an Italian restaurant because I don't know. Right. We get to Georgia and we're driving around. I'm like, this looks like Deliverance. Like it was in the middle of the woods. My GPS had me going up like dirt roads and everything. It was in Helen, Georgia. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's near there, and like they have a fake German town there. Like it looks just like a small Germany there, and then there's like this resort. And it was outdoor camping. And I was like, well, this is the only way you get me camping. You got me good. And that's my fault. Because when I Googled Cabela, maybe I put in too many L's because it was like an Italian restaurant.
Let's take one of those L's out.
Yep. But it was funny because they were like, they had to show off their camping gear. So they had like a campfire with food going. And it smelled amazing, but not edible at all.
Yeah.
We noticed on the Facebook page that a bear sighting was happening. I was like, all right, time to go. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's go. This was fun until it wasn't.
I'm gonna head out.
Like, time to get back. Look, and it was freezing. We were sitting in the car, like in between shots and so on. And I was like, yeah, camping done. We did it. I'm over it.
Well,
I never have
on
to
my
do it.
list, you know. There you go.
Yeah, and granted, they did put us up in a hotel, so we didn't stay out in the tents, but
still,
and they were huge. Like, definitely if you're gonna go camping, I can't blame you for buying it from there. But at the same time,
like, no.
only in movies, only, yeah, that's it. I'll pretend.
Pretend. Facts.
No, the bear. I was like, no, that's real bear. That's not an animal trained bear.
No, right.
No cut.
There's no cut.
No CGI.
Yeah, this is real.
Yeah, I'm like, I am not Leonardo DiCaprio or Russell Crowe or any of those other guys that like to do bear movies. Guys. I'm not that. Yeah, no. I don't want to be bear meat.
Facts. You do. Got a lot to live for.
Right. That's all. Like the Corona thing. I'll go outside every once in a while for different things, but safety first, because I just don't understand why people don't understand that you could die. Like, you know,
some people just don't have that fear.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you saw, and I don't mean to get off subject. One time that took the dog, and the owner went and punched the kangaroo and got the dog back. It went viral on Instagram.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, he had him locked up and everything. The owner's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The owner went up and hit the kangaroo. Kangaroo huge. I had a lot with it.
And they're like boxing kangaroos. Like I've heard they can throw down. You've seen that really muscular kangaroo before?
See, stuff like that is like, I understand, but that's like weird to me. I'm like, something all right.
How old is the dog?
He hit the kangaroo and he let the dog go. So I was like, cool. Some people just, I don't know. Like I said, everybody different. That's not my calling. You know, you need to go on stage, you need to write your song.
Look, that's your adrenaline rush.
I can do it. You know what I'm saying? I leave it to everybody else.
And even with that, I think that takes a lot of courage to go on stage and put yourself out there, especially when you're singing, and especially R&B, because you're singing about love and just things that are very personal and emotional sometimes, especially if you're writing about previous relationships. Yeah. What was it like the first time you ever performed?
Yeah, well, actually, the first time I performed, I actually was pretty bad.
2 in a row, yeah.
Yeah, I was scared to actually move around because, like I said, I started off doing gospel, so it's a difference in performing gospel music. You know, you can move around more so, but like it's more like a spiritual thing. So you can get away with standing there and just being not stiff, but just in your comfort zone. You know, it don't work like that when you entertain people who pay money to come see you, or you know, you're trying to express something. They're gonna be like.
Okay, Luther. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, it took me a little bit to get out of my shell. I actually came and broke all that when I was a part of the organization. 2 of my big bros now, and they were just like, bro, you're too talented just to be standing around. You gotta move. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was kind of stubborn in my own way. Like I had this like not cool factor, but like a laid back. Like kind of vibe, like majority of, you know what I'm saying, like my life. I'm still laid back now, but I'm more outgoing now. And so everything was like, nah, I don't know if I'm gonna look cool with it or not. It was like, bro, don't worry about that. Just go out and have fun. And if the people are engaged, if they're happy, then you're doing your job, you know? So, and I just followed in the footsteps behind that. The first couple shows, I didn't listen, and I was tired of getting the same response, and I saw the praise my friends was getting. It was like, bro, you did good. I mean, people was being honest. It was like, bro, you did a good job. And then they walked right past me. I was like, dang, didn't that hurt? Ouch. I was like, yeah. I was on stage with them too. I was like, I was on the back. I was on the verse, I was on the hook. You know what I'm saying? But I realized too, I was like, they gave it their all, and people connect with that and respect that, you know, especially people who love the arts. So I was like, you know what? Let me step my game up. So I started following them. You know, I started moving around, you know, being more engaging with people. And then from that on, it turned into getting choreography together and then learning how to put sets together. And, you know, now I feel like as an artist, it's like, okay, cool. I can be prepared for any situation, you know. And even like learning from starting off when I was singing in the choir to not even doing too much in some performances, we have to do like, open mics, or it's a little bit more of a chill vibe. They might want to do more of like an acoustic vibe where you're not moving as much. I can be okay with that. And not just like all the time. It's like, oh, you got to move. It's okay to, serenade, or it's okay to just, have it more relaxed, So even in that, I kind of had like a crash course firsthand of learning all the aspects of performing with the good and the bad, from church to, general crowd, general population, So that's kind of how I really, well, that's not kind of, that is how I got over my fear of, just trying to be overly cool or overthinking, what people think, what I'm saying? And then something else I learned too, no matter how talented you are, or, how not talented you are, people gonna have something to say, they're gonna say something about you regardless. You think about the most successful, most rich person, not everyone in the world has something positive to say about them or feel a positive way about them.
I mean, TMZ wouldn't exist if that was the case.
Exactly right.
So.
And I didn't know that for a long time, because like growing up, like I was pretty, for the most part, generally light, like I didn't have any problems with anybody. I was always, cool to myself. I said, hey, haha. I wasn't like overly in everybody's face. I was just laid back, I was like childish with my friends. We had our own little stuff, but I was overall light, so I didn't really know how I would accept the rejection or people not, messing with me like that. But I just kind of had to get over that, and then just be like, look, this is something I want to do, this is something I enjoy, this is something I want to take care of my family from, this is something I want to have fun with myself. I should just say, forget it and just have fun. I'm a little crazy if I stand there, so I'm out a little, at least lit, moving around, and everybody enjoy it. They're like, wow, you have excellent energy. I would take that any day over just standing there. And I had to learn that, and I'm glad I learned it the hard way and firsthand, because I know myself. Like, I can say that I've been through it, and not just I wonder what happened. It worked out like that. So
that's awesome. Because just so many people that are watching that maybe haven't taken that leap yet. They're getting so much great information on what to do, what not to do, or at least define where their comfort zone. But I know from some of the different people I've had on, they're like, as long as you're having fun, the audience is going to have fun as well. So you got to give what you would want, type of thing. Meet them with that same energy. I agree with that.
That you would want to come and see. And I'm like, okay, what would I want to see? Would I want to see somebody, outside of you knowing that you're going to see that person sit down and play, maybe a John Legend style or something like that. But would I want to pay money to come and see somebody, like, stand there for a whole, I'm like,
I paid to see Kanye West once.
Oh, see, and that's something else. I always wanted to see him too. I knew that was.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Look, this was in 2008. Oh, look, in this exact same month, it was in May, and Rihanna was his opener. She was amazing.
Crazy.
She was great
by herself, like,
right.
Rihanna was opening.
This was like SOS time. When she had Umbrella, SOS, all those songs. So she was great. She was doing all these dances and props and beautiful and just amazing. Then he comes on with these random like light balls, lack of a better word, just randomly swinging ahead of him and different. Yeah, I'm just going to stop talking about them. And he was just like talking about nonsense in between each song for a very long time. And when he performed, it was like he was calling it in almost. Yeah, and we left. We left. We just like
Kanye's interesting. Yeah. He's a genius in his own way, but he's definitely an interesting character.
Yeah, and I don't know, because he seems like the kind of guy that if he was feeling a certain way, then we're all going to feel that way.
Yeah, right. And you're going to know why.
And I was like, I didn't do anything to you, man.
Right now, I'm feeling that's what you'd be like. I'm feeling like oh no.
And I was pregnant at the time too, so I was like, I did not come out here getting all this weed smoke in my face. I'm like, I did not come out here to and then for you to
talk,
call it in.
You know what?
Yeah,
like I'm going to chill. But
I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and take this baby home. But she loves Rihanna, and I think that's probably why. That was her first concert. Just kidding. Well, again, I can't thank you enough for being my guest today, and I want to make sure that people know where they can follow you and keep up with you, or So where would you like for everyone to reach out to you? Because I also saw that you're looking for a virtual a virtual coach for voice.
I'm looking for a vocal coach. I just want to take my dynamics to the next level, and really want to work and tap in. So if anybody sees this and want to be a part of what I have going on, definitely. Yep. But for the most part, you can follow me on Instagram at 𝗪𝗚 𝗜. My Facebook is 𝗪𝗚. Snapchat is 𝗪𝗚. Anything you pretty much Google me on, if you just want to see what I have, go on Google, you type in 𝗪𝗚, and I got my stuff that come up. And
it was funny when I was looking for stuff for you. There was like this guy who was, I think he was either the first person in jazz or R&B or something. He had the exact same name as you.
Yeah,
from like the 20s.
From you say he was what?
From like the 20s, in New Orleans, he was part of the jazz scene.
Yes. Yeah. He was a jazz player, right?
Yeah.
And, it's funny like how all that ties back into just looking at stuff. I'm like, dang, like it's crazy,
Yeah.
The importance of studying, the name and who's come before you in your history. Yeah. But yeah, he was very, very prominent figure, and I think he's real famous for he has like the song about selling his soul or battling with selling his soul called Crossroads.
Oh, I have to look, because I just was like, that's not the right one, and just kept going. Right, but it caught my eye because it said something about devil's music. I was like, I'll be back.
Get out.
I want to know more, but not now.
Right. But yeah, yeah, if you want to find anything about me, just Google that. Most of my links are up there, so you'll be able to check it out. Yeah, but anything RoB official, that's my stuff. So definitely.
Great. Well, thanks again for being my guest, and I look forward to when you're on tour again, and so I can see you perform in person. I will be front and center.
Definitely. Thank you for having me, and I'm glad I was able to have the last couple minutes of our session not go out. Cause I was like, what in the world? I did everything because I have a bad habit of letting my phone die. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure it's charged up. I'm gonna make sure my AirPods charged up. I read the instructions, like make sure this is good. I'm like, you know what?
Oh, thank you.
I'm like, what I'm saying, let's keep it smooth, but it worked out really good, So
I've learned to start rolling with the punches. Can't expect too much during this time, since everybody's going live now. Everybody's on the internet.
Exactly.
It's a lot. So
it is.
I'm happy with what I can get, and I appreciate you so much taking the time today and being my guest.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine.
All right. Well, you have a great weekend and enjoy yourself. And I will be seeing you in the gram.
Yeah.
And the Goonies. Oh my gosh, that's making me laugh every time. So.
All right.
Scary. All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Please let whatever's going on with the technology, I hope it stops, because tomorrow we're in for such a great treat. Excuse me. Now I'm having technical glitches. We are in for a treat. We're going to have one of the Nitro girls. Yes, I'm using that as a segue because that's a lot of energy, right? Well, speaking of that, that's not even the most energizing job she's done, because I would think being a dancer for James Brown, yes, the James Brown, for a few years would be like nonstop work and action. I can't wait to talk to her, and maybe she can give us some tips too on stage presence and dancing, because she saw it from one of the best. And she was also the Queen 𝗪𝗏, you may know, on WWE. She won Miss Black America in 1991. I'm so excited to have her on tomorrow. I will have 𝗪𝗏 Huffman, also known as Booker T's wife, also from WWE. Cannot wait to have royalty in the building. And then Friday, I have another great woman that works in film. I will have Molly Dare Hildebrand. I mistakenly said her name wrong before because I thought it was Hildebrand, but it's Hillenbrand, which is also the name of her media company, is Hillenbrand Media. So I'm excited about having her. She's got this new show that is on Amazon about being involved socially with your community, like actually giving back. And so it's perfect with RoB talking about his advocacy work. That's how he got started. And then to kind of end the week with somebody else who's an advocate and actually has a show about being an advocate. I'm really excited about the people I'm having the rest of the week. Well, I'm excited about every guest I have. I mean, It's fun to interact with people, hear their stories, find out how they got started, and maybe even encourage you to go take that leap because the cameras are waiting. You can do it too, or the stage, or whatever it is that you're interested in. Go for it. You know, you got nothing to lose, especially now you can test it out virtually and see how you do. Anyway, speaking of that, please share, like, let other people know that this show exists so they can watch as well and get all this great knowledge and entertainment straight from the entertainer's mouth. Don't let me be the best kept secret. Come on, help me help you. Anyway, have a great night. I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific with Charmel Huffman. All right, see you guys. Have a great day.